Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Welcome to another What Else is Going On uh, YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. So, the video that I'm about to bring before you, I did last night. Did it right after I did my Potomac review, had it all queued up, ready to post. And then YouTube said, eh, 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 copyright. And once I stopped myself from throwing my laptop, I wasn't going to throw it because I don't have Apple Care on it. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to pay the deductible. But once I stopped myself from wanting to throw anything else in front of me, I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it again tomorrow. I got up and I mentioned it in my Potomac review. If you've watched it, it's out now on YouTube and available, the audio version available wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Please subscribe and follow on both. I got up and I mentioned that I wanted some Sheets wings. So me, Big Corey, Little Corey, we went and got up. They had never been. So I drove us to Sheets. And I say I drove us because Corey always drives. Like I'll leave my car and we'll take his truck. But um, I wanted to feel like I was, whatever. So I decided to drive his truck. Every once in a while, I like to drive his truck. But anyway, we went and I got my Sheets wings and I came home and I said, again, I'm going to re-record this video tomorrow. So here we are. So just a little bit of housewife stuff. So by now you guys have probably heard, maybe even read, Mia had some strong feelings about Sunday's episode. So she wanted to come to the internet and let us know her thoughts and then drop some text messages between her and Gordon. I'm not going to say proof or receipts because for me, they didn't necessarily prove anything. Actually, there's a part of the text message we'll get to that kind of makes me feel like the whole he took the kids, I don't know where they are type thing may or may not have been 100% true. I'm not going to lie. When it first happened, I didn't believe it. I thought it was for the story. And her dropping these text messages kind of make me believe, yeah, we were right in thinking that because I know I wasn't the only one. So let's get into Mia first. All right. Again, y'all may have already seen it, read it, but we haven't went over it as a family. So let's go. So Mia came down to the internet and said, let me set the record straight. I was not, in caps, the one who brought the questioning of my son's paternity into the public eye. His father did. I'm going to stop there and say she's right. Gordon brought that up at the reunion. He brought it out. I will say Mia then turned right around and shut it down and talked about how she knew Gordon was the father based on what she had to go through to get pregnant. I believe she did IVF. So she said she knew that Jeremiah was Gordon's based on that. Okay. So, yes, Gordon brought it up, but then you shut the rumor down at the reunion. Let's continue. I did not, in caps, expose my infidelity to the world. My husband did. Very true. It was Gordon who chose to air our family matters on TMZ and later went on a public apology tour during last year's reunion. He revealed something I had protecting him from for years, his diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which causes him to behave unpredictably. He alters the narrative, leaving me to navigate around the truth. I don't know if Mia realizes that's what viewers do whenever she's speaking. We try to navigate around what's true and what's not. As individuals with bipolar can look, sound, and seem just as normal, in quotes, as other people do, it's those closest to them that get it. I'm fine with being labeled a liar if it means protecting my family, but it's heartbreaking that people still choose to believe Gordon when he told you all who and what he is capable of. But sure, okay. So here's my thing. All of this Mia can be saying is true. And that does not negate the fact that we have seen you lie in interviews, on camera, seen you try to perpetuate a story. You tried to do it about Chris. He was looking at me. He was this, along with Ashley's friends. And then you had to come down to the internet. You wanted to come down to the internet and try to explain and said, I already apologized to Candace. And then you did an interview saying they called you to go along with it. Now, we don't know if that's true, but who were the theys? I'm assuming your castmates. You did an interview saying that. So your track record for the truth is very spotty, very sketchy as well. All right. But she is right in that Gordon did come. Let's not forget that Gordon did come out at the reunion and bring that up. And like I said, you then debunked it at the reunion only to get on this season in earlier episodes and say to Gordon, there's always a possibility. But you didn't say that at the reunion. But now you're saying it this season. Why? To further the story, to have something to talk about? Anyway, let's get into the text messages that she dropped with Gordon. So she says, call me a liar, a bad mom, or whatever else you want. I know who I am. Believe what you will, but the truth never expires. She then put in parentheses, Ashley's event, which we watched on the show last night. Well, we watched some of it. The ladies got to arguing. Ashley's event was held on July 18th for context. So remember that date, July 18th. Okay. She gets a text from Gordon. Hey, Mia, can you make sure I have the nanny's name and phone number, and the nanny has my name and phone number so I can communicate with the kids? Also, let the nanny know I will pick the kids up around noon Friday. Gordon, you have a doctor's appointment on Saturday in CLT, which is short for Charlotte. What am I missing? Gordon says, yes, I am leaving Friday afternoon and taking the kids with me to Charlotte. My original plan was to pick them up from Donna Friday afternoon and then drive to Charlotte. So let's read that again. Gordon is like, make sure the nannies have my name and number. Or can you make sure that I have the nanny's name and number so that I can communicate with the kids and let her know I'll be there to pick them up around noon on Friday? Mia says, but you have an appointment in Charlotte on Friday. He says, yes, I'm leaving Friday and I'm taking the kids with me. His original plan was to pick them up from Donna. I guess that's who they were initially going to stay with Friday afternoon and then drive them to Charlotte. She says, can you please share your plans? I feel like they keep changing, so I'm just going to navigate and make sure the kids have everything they need until I return. I'm leaving the country, so I need to ensure that I have reliable childcare until I return to the States. Your decision-making process, she says if, but I guess she meant it's questionable, and I need to ensure the safety of the kids. I return July 6th at 12:31 a.m. Please don't get offended. I'm just doing my job as their mother. Now there's a date right below that says July 1st. So this is all before she went on the trip. She returned July 6th. They left after July 1st, either July 1st or after, before she went on the trip. So Gordon told her his plans. I was planning to pick the kids up on Friday and take them with me to Charlotte. All right, moving on. Gordon says, when can we talk? Now, this doesn't have a date. She says, sure, give me a few. He says, what you're doing is very disrespectful to me. I don't even have Jacqueline's address nor the phone number of the people who are going to be taking care of my kids. And I'm absolutely floored that you've talked to a number of people about arranging this before talking to me. Gordon, she says, Gordon, relax. I'm a solution base. Sorry. The kids will be with the girls during the day. My mother is down the street and will assist with the kids as well. The girls have been working for Jacqueline for over a year. I trust her judgment and nanny referral. When I asked you if you were going to keep the kids with you this week, you said no, that you were going out of town and will not change your plans. I have a work trip to attend, so finding reliable childcare near my support system ensures the safety and care of the children. Jacqueline has lived at the same address for over 8 years, and she also has the same phone number. I've shared the names of the girls. You have met them years ago. You can also contact Juliana and Jeremiah directly on their iPad. Our littles are super excited to spend time with their cousins. Calm down. So remember when I told you I didn't know when the date of that first text message was, but then you see nothing else, and then you see one dated July 1st. She was returning July 6th. So I guess that week is what she's talking about when she says, when I asked if you were going to keep the kids with you this week, you said no, that you were going out of town and you will not change your plans. I have a work trip to attend, the trip. So I'm trying to find reliable childcare. But in the message before this, unless she posted them backwards, in the message before this, before she left, He's saying, let the babysitter know I'm going to be there on Friday to pick my kids up and take them with me for the weekend. So that's why I'm confused. Like, so you're saying he said he was not going to have the kids. He wasn't going to have the kids with him for the week. Do you mean like a week as in what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Or because he said he was picking them up on Friday, which look, now I'm being nosy. Let me go back to 2024 real quick. Let's go back to July. She was coming back July 6th, which was on a Sunday. Her first a message to him. Well, after her first message, the date showed up July 1st, which was a Monday. So I'm assuming she left that week, the second, third. Oh, yeah, because they were there on the 4th. So they may have left like the 3rd, right? Because the next day was the 4th or something like that. Even if they left the 2nd through the 6th. I guess she's saying you said you weren't going to have them during the week or whatever. Either way, I guess she knew he wanted to take them during the weekend. Next message. This is Thursday, July 18th at 8:39 p.m. Now, remember, in the beginning of this, I told you Mia posted something that said Ashley's event that we just watched was July 18th. And we know we watched them confront Mia. So this is Gordon sending her a message at 8:39 p.m. Thanks for calling. Tear their ass up. Chew them up and spit them out. I'm assuming he's talking about the ladies. Then Friday, July 19th at 4:42 a.m., he says, what happened last night was BS. Asked the production team whether I emphatically said during filming with Ray that you were a great mother. I praised you extensively during the conversation. You should be pissed at production for setting you up. In my opinion, they shared bits of information with the ladies in order to get to you and did not share the whole conversation. She answered later that day at 9:52 a.m., Gordon, they shouldn't have bits and pieces of information to use against me. He says, do you mean like when you posted on Instagram, my kid's father, plural in parentheses? I choose to believe you did not think about that. Think about how that made me feel or how people would react to that post. She says, have a great day, Gordon. He says, I'm sorry all this happened to you last night. You have a great day as well. Same day at 10:22 p.m. It just says, I will agree to be at the test provided I pick the place. Jared doesn't trust me, which gives me cause not to trust him. I think this is fair. I don't know what that is because she didn't post the rest of that, child. But anyway, child, she shared a lot. So I'm going to read some of the comments. Somebody said, this is really revealing, but unfortunately, the fans have made up their minds about Mia. These messages are really eye-opening. Production is setting Mia up to be the villain for this season because none of the ladies have anything going on. Without Mia, the show is dead. Somebody responded, the producer must have also set her up to beef with Candace, accuse Karen of having an affair, accuse Wendy of having an affair, initiate a fight with Wendy and assault her with a drink. Remember, she said on TV that Wendy had an affair with Peter and she had proof. She lied and then admitted it later. Have an affair herself, flaunt boyfriend in her husband's face, expose lover in front of the kids, pick a fight with Kay. Oof, those producers must be giving Mia a fat check for setting her up to be the villain. Somebody said, I don't see what's revealing in Mia's favor. She got on the trip and acted like Gordon kidnapped the kids when he told her he wanted to take them to Charlotte in the next week. So all that faking like she didn't know where the kids were, and she did. So then, more people are just talking. Somebody said something I've been protecting him from for years, his bipolar diagnosis. Now, last season, y'all indicated this was a new diagnosis. So has he had this diagnosis? So it's crazy. It's definitely a lot. Again, to me, these messages didn't exonerate her about anything. In fact, they proved that you knew he wanted to pick up the kids and take him the week that you were during a certain time period of when you were going to be in Panama. She must have called Gordon after the scene, after they ambushed her. And that's why I say it like that, ambushed her, ambushed her. And again, that's why he said, thanks for calling, tear their ass up, chew them up and spit them out. And that's where it went from there. Again, listen, I have said it since Mia started the show. I don't believe anything she says. I think she purposely tries to leave things ambiguous or straight up lies. Again, we watched her lie and say Dr. Wendy and Peter had an affair. Says she had proof, only then to turn around later and admit she was lying. Watched her say that Chris was staring at her and all of this other stuff and tried to go along with the whole Chris making everybody uncomfortable, Chris staring at Sesame Street and everybody else, only for her to then come out on Instagram and say, well, tweet that she apologized to Candace. She meant that it was her feeling self-conscious because she had been sick and she was extremely pale and skinny, and she thought that Chris had been staring at her, and it could have been for that reason. Twisted the whole thing up. So Mia is not a credible witness, storyteller, narrator, none of that. So for me, this is me personally. So when I see the ladies go crazy, and I mentioned this in my review, when I see the ladies all upset about Mia's lying, Mia be lying. Mia has been this way since she started. But now she's not against her adversary. So you have no use for her. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. These texts didn't do anything. And sharing all of that, like, girl. Now, I do want to know, at the very last text that she shared, when Gordon says, I will agree to be at the test provided I pick the place. Jared doesn't trust me, which gives me cause not to trust him. I think that's fair. Who is Jared and what y'all getting tested for? Is it something to do with Gordon or what? I want to know. Anyway, let's get down. Let's get into the comments and y'all let me know what y'all think about these messages. Or do you think they prove Mia's point on something? Moving on, let's get into Dr. Wendy. Now, this is the part that had got flagged yesterday. So I'm going to play audio, but I'm not going to play, as a matter of fact, see, now I'm just going to play the audio and we'll go from there. So y'all remember how during the season, Dr. Wendy has been calling Ashley's guy that she's seeing, what's his name? Josh? Jack Harlow. And she was basically telling Ashley, you could do better than Jack Harlow, whatever. Here is a question that someone asked Ashley. And again, you may have seen this, but I want y'all to hear it. So that way you then can put it together with Dr. Wendy's response. All right, hold on, y'all. All right, here we go. Ooh, but someone came. Oh, wait, my bad. Hold on, y'all. In with some surprise. No, here we go.
Ashley, what did you think of Wendy calling Josh Jack Harlow and saying that you can do better than him?
Josh survived cancer when he was 27 years old. Okay. And he is now 30 years old. He's very accomplished. Wendy has no idea what he does for a living. And the man stared death in the face. Okay. With thyroid cancer. So if anything, I think he's a very impressive young man and Wendy can suck it.
Ashley, what did you think?
Okay, y'all heard that, right? So let's get into what Andy says to Wendy.
What is your response to Ashley saying you can suck it on Watch What Happens Later?
Oh, regarding your comments about Jack Harlow and Josh.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I think that speaks to how deplorable and just lack of thought process Ashley has towards the whole situation, because she even tried to invoke the cancer of it all to seek sympathy. And that's not what we were doing. It was just light shade. It didn't warrant all of that. And so, I wish Ashley well, but I never thought it was wrong for you to say to your friend, oh, I think you could do better. I think that's actually a compliment. So for her to now take it to this level, it's odd. But yes, I will suck it with my husband. Not my rented boyfriend. Rented?
You heard Keke Palmer?
What is your
now? Let's move on to someone asked, you know how we've all been talking about how Giselle has reacted with Mia allegedly calling her daughters whores. versus Robin saying that Candace and Wendy were rolling their eyes when Giselle was talking about their girls. So this is what Dr. Wendy has to say.
27.
Do you think Giselle is going easy on Mia compared to how she has reacted to you in the past about her daughters?
Yes, I do feel like there's definitely a double standard, and I
Hold
stated
on.
that.
You think she went harder on you than Mia?
Giselle?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yes, even the fact that after the incident happened, Giselle, you see her sitting beside Mia, hugging Mia. I remember I went up to Giselle a few months later, and she was like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." So yes, I definitely,
Right.
I definitely think that there's a difference in how she's handling Mia, especially since Mia spoke directly about her daughters in an ill way.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Do you think Giselle is going?
So she said, since Mia spoke directly about her daughters in an ill way, she called them girls. Next up, they talk about the reunion. Are they trying to bait and switch us? Let's see what Andy and Wendy have to say about the reunion.
Giselle.
By the way, and I'm not going to say who, but someone came in with some surprise receipts at the 11th hour that blew the lid off the place. And you will not believe who it is.
You will not.
Yes, you will not.
So good.
Yeah. Wendy, we taped the reunion last week.
What a reunion.
Karen was not there per se. What was your reaction to her checking herself into rehab?
That was Kiki saying,
Well, I'm glad for that. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm happy that she decided to go the extra step and get help that she needed. So
Yes.
I applaud her for that.
And what did you think of the reunion?
Baby, that reunion was.
Was y'all getting into Mia?
No, let me.
you heard Kiki said, did y'all get into Mia?
Spread amongst everybody.
Yes, there was a lot.
I didn't think it was going to be what it was going to be.
Yes.
Hey, baby, I have been here for 5 seasons, and I was like, okay, thank you. And it was like, this is just gonna be, reunion.
Oh, yeah. By the way, and I'm not going to say who, but some.
So y'all hear that. So I don't know if they're just trying to get us hype or whatever. I don't be believing Andy when he says this season is good, that's good, this is good, because I haven't agreed with him. So, but we'll see. We shall see. Now let's get into some of the other stuff that Wendy addressed. She also addressed Karen's past claims of vindication being on its way and decision to check herself into rehab. Remember, Karen said she'd be vindicated. And even Ray, this past episode, says Karen believes she'll be vindicated. My mouth dropped over when he said that because I immediately thought back to that body cam footage. I'm Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Google me. Okay. So she said it's really sad of Karen's guilty verdict on the January 19th episode. At the end of the day, at the episode of Watch What Happens Live, at the end of the day, I want what's best for her. And I know that watching that video, it was not only terrible for us watching it, I'm sure it was terrible for her as well. So I feel for her. As for Karen's previous suggestion that she'll be vindicated, Wendy continued, I'm just wondering if she thought there would be a different result, or maybe she never thought she would see that video. It's really not adding up, which we've all been saying. If she knew that video existed, why go to trial? That said, Wendy confirmed she's happy that Karen decided to go the extra step and get the help she needed. I applaud her for that. So we saw how she talked about Giselle handled her differently. She talked about the reunion. Wendy was then asked about Gordon suggesting that he already knew he was Jeremiah's dad since he did his own paternity test. For me, I really care about the kids. And outside of all of this, they're going to grow up one day and they're going to see this. So if this was known that this was always the case, why even bring it to the group to discuss the paternity of your child? She wondered, agreeing with fellow guest Kiki Palmer, who said it was to make everything with that man Inc. seem valid. During a game of rapid fire questions, Wendy further confirmed that she believes what Gordon says over Mia. So she believes Gordon over Mia. She also described Jacqueline Blake's party crashing balloons as shady and admitted that certain cast members bullied Karen over the charges against her. They were being bullies as concerned, but now hindsight is 2020. And so it's like, I don't think a lot of them were genuinely concerned. Wendy went on to confirm she did believe Scissor Sisters, Mia and Jacqueline had feelings for one another, denied that TJ was ever serious about Stacey, and suspected that Giselle is bothered by Jamal's engagement. Also on the show, Wendy suspected Mia and Ink weren't done for good, saying, no, they're all in it together. And she said Mia will end up where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, which is what we all, that she gonna end up where the money reside. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to, I believe that his family locked him out of the account so that Mia didn't drain them. And that if they saw him break with Mia, like officially get divorced, he would have access back to everything. Or even like have access back to everything, even if he had someone in his family over it, like giving him a monthly allowance, a monthly check, or whatever. I do believe that, especially when all that happened and the nieces were coming out, speaking like in the comments, like, don't make us tell your tea, da 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 da. I was like, oh, okay. Ooh, child, Wendy said a lot. So she said, no, they're all in it together. I believe that includes Gordon as well. So y'all let me know what y'all think about Wendy, about what she said about Giselle and Giselle going easy on her. There are some people that say they agree with Giselle. Mia was supposed to be my friend, so that's why I'm taking it a little lightly on you versus I didn't like you. Which I have said, then see, this is where it makes Giselle is hypocritical, because you didn't care that Wendy got assaulted because she didn't like you. So if in fact Candace and Wendy did roll their eyes when you mentioned your daughters, it's okay because they don't like you, right? Same applies. Even though I don't believe they were rolling their eyes at the girls, I believe it was about, because Giselle was simply talking like, child, here we go. And again, Giselle never even confronted Wendy and Candace to know if that was the case. Wendy walked over and said something, and Giselle made her face and looked away, wouldn't even speak. Her spokesperson, Robin, was speaking. So they never even got, you know what I mean, to have that confrontation in that moment. So y'all let me know, do y'all agree? Do y'all think that do y'all see Giselle's point, meaning I didn't go as hard on Mia because that's my friend or whatever? Do y'all think Mia called Giselle's daughter? I think I believe it. I believe it. I believe that Giselle put it out there too, or somebody close to her put it out. They wanted it to be known and wanted the audience outrage. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that all three of them are in on it together? Also, what else? Do y'all think that based on what we saw, the girls bullied Karen? And do y'all think that they actually were caring? And Dr. Wendy saying she will suck it with her husband and not her rented boyfriend. And then y'all let me know what y'all think about the text messages and the message from Miss Mia Thornton. Love y'all so much. I'll talk to you later. See ya.